One of the questions I get the most, and many other creators and pedal builders get the most, is whenever they put out a DUMBLE style pedal, what DUMBLE are you recreating? Are you just recreating the general sound of a DUMBLE? Is this a... That question comes up a lot. Lawrence from LPD solved that question by targeting one single sound of one single DUMBLE and one single artist. Today, we look at the Bedlum OverDrive, Robben Ford's own DUMBLE.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
What is up, YouTube? My name is Buddy Blues, and hey, it's Small Business Tuesday. Lawrence is no stranger to this channel. I've done many of Lawrence's creation over the past 4 or 5 years now, and he really knows how to capture sounds. He really knows. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He has one of the best ears in this community. So the Bedlum is an anagram for Dumble. Bedlum, anagram, Dumble. Get it? Let me tell you what we have here first. Then I want to talk about one knob. I've noticed that on a lot of my recent demos and reviews for the past 3 months or so, I think after NAMM, I've been showing you the usual, skipping over the usual, like this is master volume, this is drive, this is tone. We didn't invent the wheel. And I usually stick to what I like the most, or it's usually a knob or like a thing, what I like the most about the pedal. So, master, drive, tone, understood. Mass. Mass controls the body and the bass. It's really a bass of the overall, EQ, but it controls a big portion of the bass that comes up when you put it, and it gives your guitar a lot of body. If your guitar already has a lot of body, which the 355 that I played Gibson, there's no bigger sound on earth than a 355 with 2 humbuckers. You would cut the mass a little bit behind. Inside, Lawrence wants me to tell this, and I'm gonna preface. I don't care for inside trim pots, inside switching, inside. I've always said if it's important, put it on the front. Put it on the front. Well, it looks too busy in the design aspect. Have you seen a Chase Bliss pedal? Are they doing poorly financially? They are not. They just did a thing with analog mic. We don't care about the knobs and it looks too busy. Clearly, again, King Tone, Chase Bliss are the exact case study in that. We don't care about busy and blah, blah, blah in design. It looks beautiful and all this stuff looks beautiful. So whenever any builder tells me, and I'm not picking on Lawrence here, but whenever any builder tells me there's trim pots inside that you should know, absolutely, I should not. That's your job, not mine. However, here's what Lawrence did. There are indeed trim pots inside. There are treble and mids. They control the treble and the mids. Mass is going to be your bass. What Lawrence has done is set it from the factory, from him, it's as small as this one guy. He sets them to what each and every one of those will sound like in the Robben Ford's sound in Talk to Your Daughter, to be very specific. So if you desire a bit more mids, you can go inside and do it. If you desire a bit more treble, you can go inside and do it. It's just 2 trim pots, treble and mid. But he's already set them to that sound, to Talk to Your Daughter sound of Robben Ford's Dumble, and you have the ability to change. So I understand, and Lawrence is immediately forgiven. You just heard it in the beginning with the 355, you're gonna hear it again with the 355, now what? And I'll bring in some single coils way later for a very short amount of time so you can see what it sounds like with single coils. I just think it's not made for humbuckers. Nothing is made for humbuckers, but I just think it sounds the best with humbuckers. You get that sound the most. Victory MK Clean, nicest cleans on earth. Let's just get real. And Boss, Tube Amp Expander. Let's get to it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've now heard the Bedlum from LPD. Behold, did I forget to talk about this PAB switch? No, I did not. I wanted to leave it till the end because of its importance. Almost every Dumble has a foot switch that it comes with that's a preamp boost. PAB. So when you saw me click that, that's what that is. It's a preamp boost for, it doesn't, it's just a, again, it's a preamp, to bypass a stone stack preamp boost. It's lovely, and I really do like it, and I really do like it as a push. On the pedal over here, you can see the number 102, which is the serial number next to the B if you see it. It's the serial, no, you can't see shit, but that's fine. It's the serial number of Robben Ford's Dumble, which I had the pleasure of playing at NAMM. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just be honest with you here. Do they sound identical? They sound very close. They feel very close. There's no way I'm gonna remember what it sounded like for that 5 minutes that I was playing, because Andy Timmons was in the room with me, and the CEO of Seymour Duncan. We're both in the same room. So, if by any reason you have ever been impressed for the past 5 years in my playing, all of that went the fuck away when I had Andy Timmons in the room with me. But they feel very similar. They feel, I play several Dumbles there, real ones. They feel very similar to that. If this is your first Small Business Tuesday, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. Small Business Tuesday is the coolest thing I do besides this half-sleeve leather jacket that I've purchased. And my wife said I look like those pit bulls that have short arms. We look at smaller builders in the community. We like to give them a voice because they are the ones that matter most in our industry, and they make the coolest stuff. Is it as cool as my jacket that makes me look like a short-armed pit bull? No, but hey. Always a pleasure having you here. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. Share this video with Lawrence's main competitor. Just email them, and it's in the subject line of the email, right? Bedlum OverDrive 102 Robben Ford. Checkmate, you lose your move. And then copy the link of this video and send it to me so that I'm reminded how cool this pedal is. I've been Buddy Blues, you've been the people of the blues. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I feel like I should have said something at the end there. I hated that.